We have a massive New York Knicks update to go over today as it pertains to Tom Thibodeau's future with the New York Knicks after a string of poor coaching decisions that has led the New York Knicks to being down 3-1 in the Eastern Conference Finals, as a shocking report has revealed that Tom Thibodeau's future very likely does not reside in New York, and we are going to break all this down as there's a lot to go over with this and a lot of sort of intangibles surrounding this that we have to discuss, as this does have some deep implications on the Knicks. And also, there is just a lot on this subject to go over. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Knicks Digest. It's Chris here, and we're going to jump right into things as always. Guys, if you are part of that 73% that's watching these Knicks Digest videos and you're enjoying them, make sure to subscribe. Join that 26%. I really appreciate all the love you guys have brought to the channel. We've gained nearly 2,000 subscribers since the playoffs began. We are on a generational run right now. Join the generational run. Let's keep it going. But more importantly, let's jump into this video because there's a lot to go over. The New York Knicks series and their season is not over. They are down 3-1 to the Indiana Pacers, and it feels like all hope was lost after they lost Game 4 against the Pacers, a game where Tom Thibodeau once again got brutally outcoached and just showed that there is a lot of problems with this New York Knicks team and that he is not really helping their case in a lot of ways. And because of that, now what we are looking at is a real chance that Tom Thibodeau is not going to be the coach of the New York Knicks next season, which in a lot of ways sounds a bit ridiculous. We know that Tom Thibodeau and Leon Rose are good friends. That's something that has been established. It was one of the reasons why Tibs was the front runner to get the job after Leon Rose was hired. And since then, what he's done is made the playoffs 4 out of the 5 years that he's coached the Knicks. It's been a very good run, and the team has changed drastically since that first playoff run. Nobody in the playoff rotation in that first year, because Mitchell Robinson was injured in that 2021 playoffs, is even on the Knicks anymore. Thibodeau is still here. Leon Rose and the front office are still here. But outside of that, we have seen a drastic change to this team. We've seen Jalen Brunson obviously come in being the key factor, but also seeing Julius Randle get shipped out and them replacing him with Karl-Anthony Towns, while also adding in Mikal Bridges, Josh Hart, a bunch of different players along the way. And where things stand right now, the Knicks, after beating the Boston Celtics in the second round of the playoffs, they were widely expected to beat the Indiana Pacers, and instead they now find themselves down 3-1, completely on the ropes, and looking like they're about to get eliminated by the Pacers. This is not what we expected, not what we wanted to see, but there is a report that Tibs is in trouble. As CP the franchise mentioned, that if the Knicks do lose at the Garden, that might be the end of Thibodeau. I still think it's a 50-50 shot. He's on thin ice. That's not speculation or opinion. He's on thin ice. Now, some people don't realize this about CP because he's not, I want to say like a conventional journalist, if that's the right way to put it. But first of all, Knicks Fan TV, they know it. Those guys know what they're talking about. I mean, anyone who's making New York Knicks content videos, they're taking at least one or two things from what they've learned from watching Knicks Fan TV for years. CP's an awesome dude, and he is very much tapped into what is going on with the New York Knicks. He has connects. I did a video last July about how CP, the franchise, definitely had some insight that the Knicks wanted to match that 5-out the Celtics had by going for Karl-Anthony Towns. Evidently, what ended up happening. The man does have connects within the Knicks organization, and because of that, this is not some speculation. This is not some hyperbole. This is what we're looking at. A real situation where we could be seeing Tom Thibodeau not coaching the New York Knicks next season. And a lot of Knicks fans would probably like that at this point, if we're being honest. I mean, you look at some of the quotes that Tommy Beer mentioned, and as he said, they're truly alarming after that loss, with Cat saying, "We didn't match the pace and their inspiration too. We just didn't match what they came to do tonight to start the game." Mitchell Robinson saying they play with more intensity. We should have matched it. Thibodeau saying we started the third quarter without good energy. We got to make sure we play with the proper approach and intensity and force, with Bridges flat out admitting that the Pacers just played harder than us. They came out with more fire. And as Beer mentioned, this was not some random snowy night in February on the back end of a back-to-back. This was Game 4 of the Eastern Conference Finals. We're about to be in June, and the New York Knicks, if they win, if the Knicks can continue stretching this series out, then the Knicks will be playing basketball in June for the first time in so long. So it becomes this situation where why does it feel like this team is uninspired? Why does it feel like something is going wrong with this team? Why are the rotations just so blatantly incorrect? Tibs. What, are we going to pretend like it's not? Look, if he's not inspiring his guys, it means he's lost the locker room. That's how it works. You don't want to be uninspired, and if you can't inspire your team, that's a severe coaching issue that you could fire someone for. I mean, after all, he didn't put Deuce McBride in because he wanted Landry Shamet, who's a bit taller. They're like 2 inches in difference. Deuce McBride plays bigger than his height anyway. It doesn't matter. What we've seen time and time again is Tom Thibodeau spurn the guys who have been working in this playoff series and in the playoffs entirely, continuing to use a lineup that was not working. We saw the New York Knicks adjust. We saw them decide to change up the starting lineup. But as Knicks Muse mentioned, it was a complete sham. Still, you look at the starting lineup and then Josh Hart. Brunson played 37. Towns played 37. OG Anunoby played 40 minutes. Mikal played 34. Mitchell Robinson played 19, including not a single minute in the fourth quarter. And Josh Hart played 36. Tibs is still running the same starting lineup. He just switched how they play the game and what order they all come into the game at. And that's not enough. That's not a meaningful change. That's not doing something different. And I mean, Tommy Beer broke this down on his recent Substack, saying that Thibodeau had 6 months to experiment and tinker with different lineups, yet was content to trot out the same 5 players with 35 minutes plus every single night. Now, Tibbs has benched Payne and is starting Mitchell Robinson as he desperately tries to figure out on the fly in the middle of the Eastern Conference Finals. We are 3 days away from June, and he is still searching, attempting to make the puzzle pieces fit together correctly. Meanwhile, Shamet and Wright did not play because of coaching decisions in Games 1 and Game 2. Payne logged in a total of 19 minutes at MSG and was a net negative. If Tibbs had made the switch before the series had started, might New York have beaten Indiana in either contest? Both came down to the final possession. How much different might this series look right now? It could look a lot different. There is a world where the Knicks just lost a game where they were up 3-0. I mean, again, you can't predict the Nesmith situation and Tyrese Halliburton getting that shot to go. It happened. It was unbelievable that it happened, but it did. The Knicks did not react correctly. They did not have their timeouts planned correctly, so they had to stay near the basket, which hurt them. And it was just a complete and utter disaster for the New York Knicks that included missing free throws. It was just a series of everything that could have went wrong did go wrong. And I don't blame Tibbs for that. I don't blame many people for that as much as it's just unfortunate and the Knicks didn't guard the three correctly. That once the Pacers got close enough, the Knicks should have just started intentionally fouling. Don't let them hit threes. It's a 5-point game with 15 seconds left. Why are you letting them shoot threes? Make them get 2 points at most, so then they got to foul you, and you just got to hit one to go back up by that 2-possession lead. The Knicks didn't do that. You could blame that part on Tibbs, but outside of that, you can't really blame him for that situation. But it would be a much different series, and Knicks fans have absolutely lost their minds over him, people saying that they wish nothing but the worst for him, which, no, don't do that. It's not that deep. Though I understand that it is super frustrating with Tibbs upsetting people, saying that Indiana told Ben Shepherd and Tony Bradley to give them quality minutes, and they did. This continues to roll with the same team, or the same thing, even when Tibbs does not see that it's working or sees that it's not working. It doesn't matter. Meanwhile, DeLon Wright was playing well. He got benched. Josh Hart was a turnover machine. He got 30 minutes. Jalen Brunson couldn't play defense, and he played the whole third quarter. Cat was on fire in the second quarter, didn't get the ball in the third quarter. And as they put it there, as Daily Josh Hart put it, Tom Thibodeau special. The Knicks do not hit the hot hand. They never do. And the only time they did, they won the only game they won in this playoff series. It's incredibly frustrating that we had to witness this happen. I'm really, really, really upset that this is what it's come to. It didn't feel like it was going to. But we look, tie game season on the line earlier on. And look, Cameron Payne went in the game and instead of a handful of players who could have been in. It was absolutely infuriating to watch Cameron Payne in there in that game one. It just did nothing helpful in that game two as well. It did nothing helpful. The Knicks got absolutely burned by that, and Tom Thibodeau refused to go to DeLon Wright, who's been in the playoffs before and is an excellent defender and can guard Tyrese Halliburton. They didn't use him. They didn't use Landry Shamet, and it got really, really frustrating to watch as a Knicks fan. You look at the guys with the highest plus-minus on the Knicks in this Eastern Conference Finals who have played more than 20 minutes. Landry Shamet's number 1, DeLon Wright's number 2, Deuce McBride's number 3 tied for 2 at plus 18 for Shamet, and then DeLon and Deuce at plus 11. Everybody else is a net negative. The only guys who've had positive plus minuses are the bench guards, and None of them are getting real minutes. Deuce is getting screwed over, especially. But DeLon Wright, same thing. He plays well, gets benched, doesn't play the second half. Landry Shamet doing the right thing, gets benched. I mean, it's absolutely absurd. It's such a joke of a coaching job that it does make you understand why Tom Thibodeau should likely get fired. But there is that thing, well, he made the conference finals, but also you look at the coach across from him in this conference finals. You look at Rick Carlisle, who is confident in his bench. Each reserve knows approximately when they will check in, what is expected of them when they are on the floor, and is comfortable and productive in their respective roles. The same cannot be said for the New York Knicks, and it is infuriating. Look, I've been very against the whole, we'll fire Tibs camp, but it might be time, because you see these two guys who are playing well, they get benched. For guys who are not playing well, just because they're the starters. And I get they got us here, but still, Josh Hart's having a terrible game. Why was he in? I understand Mikal a bit more, but then you also see Mitch and Deuce McBride, who just didn't get consistent minutes for zero reason last night when they were positively impacting the team with DeLon, with Shamet, with Cat. When they had that lineup out there, things were working and they went away from it. It's stuff like that that makes people not want Tibs to coach the team, because it's like, why are these rotations so terrible? Then the thing is, you question who's going to be the coach next. That's a question for the offseason, and we're not in the offseason yet, so we're going to keep hoping that Tibs turns this thing around when his back is against the wall. We see him make changes more often, so hopefully he will. Hopefully he'll understand that the Knicks do have the ability to go 9 men deep. Hopefully they actually use it. Hopefully they do something right. Let's extend this thing. Let's not go out sad. Go out swinging, or get to the NBA Finals still and come back from 3-1. Win this game in New York on Thursday, May 29th. Like this video, subscribe, turn on post notifications. Have a great day, and go Knicks.